Sunlight shimmered on turquoise waters, and palm trees swayed in the breeze. Life seemed calm for Maldivians, but beneath the surface, unrest was brewing. This is a story of courage. It's a story about a journey from hope to heartbreak, from rebellion to exile, and straight into the heart of a lost republic. In 1944, the Maldives faced a silent but growing crisis. Food was running low, and fishing, which the islands depended on, was becoming increasingly difficult. The people struggled to sustain themselves. They were unaware that these challenges were about to spark a series of events that will forever alter the southern atolls. By February of 1944, tension boiled over Addu. Two armed men from Male, Bucha Hassan Khalefan and Tata Qasim Khalefan, were dispatched to Addu to prevent the islanders from trading or exchanging goods with the British base. Their presence quickly turned from authority to oppression. Stories of beating and abuse pushed the people of Hitadu to rebel. The people's anger could not be contained. Bucha Hassan Khalefan was protected by the British until Hassan Farid arrived to assess the situation. In March 1944, Hassan Farid arrived and told the people of Hitadu that everything was forgiven and there would be no punishment for their attacks on Bucha Hassan Khalefan and his men. Taking Bucha Hassan Khalefan with him, Hassan Farid left Addu. Bucha Hassan Khalefan was dropped off at an atoll south of Male, while Hassan Farid sailed straight to Ceylon. And we all know what happened to him, or at least what we were told happened to him. That's where we left off last episode. Months later, in July 1944, Mohamed Didi visited Addu. He had heard Bucha Hassan Khalefan's version of the events and now faced the tense politics of Addu, where rumors and accusations from black magic rites to secret letters with the British fanned the flames of suspicion. At the center of these unfolding events was Abdullah Afif, the son of Ali Didi and Fatmat Didi, known locally as Ela Didige Ali Didige Afifu. Afif had served as an interpreter for the British Army at Gun Air Base. He acted as the official link between the British and the local people, a role that would eventually put him at the center of history. Afif's hesitation when Mohamed Didi demanded to see the correspondence was seen as guilt. Afif and his family and his supporters were taken to Male, tied face down, beaten with rattan canes, and had chili poured into their cuts, marks that would never fade. The late 1950s brought renewed turmoil. In January and February of 1957, the British began construction of a military base in Gun Island before the Maldivian Majlis had ratified an agreement. When Prime Minister Ibrahim Ali Didi attempted to enforce relocation, island women pelted him with water, stones, and coconut husks. By December, he had to resign, and Ibrahim Nasser, at just 31 years old, became the new Prime Minister. tensions rose in 1958. Affairs between Fedu women and Sri Lankan workers sparked violence, and soon accidents and even murders followed. Yet the construction at Gang went on, powered by the British and Costain Limited, despite unpaid wages. The British were paying the Maldivian government in pounds, but the government was paying the workers in Maldivian rupiah, and for 2 months, even that reportedly didn't reach them. Anger mounted when the government tried to tax fishing boats. By December 30th, frustration had reached a boiling point. On the night of December 31st, 1958, protests against withheld salaries erupted. 2 days later, the British stepped in and the movement began. Abdullah Afif, along with councils of Addu Islands, quickly organized a self-governing administration. On January 1st, 1959, Afif acted decisively. Following instructions from the atoll chief, he read the tax bill aloud, only to have the crowd reject it outright. Under the cover of darkness, islanders moved to attack the Mali government office in Gang. But Afif safeguarded Ahmed Zaki, escorting him to safely aboard a British naval vessel. One official mistaken for Zaki was beaten and the Maradu Atoll office was demolished. Afif returned to Hitadu, and under pressure from the islanders and after what the British advisor Major Phillips told him, Afif accepted the leadership. By January 3, 1959, Addu's delegation formally declared independence under British protection, and within weeks, revolts spread to Huadu and Formulang atolls. By March, the United Suvadive Republic was officially announced, with Abdullah Afif as its president. The Addu economy flourished. Trade expanded to Ceylon and Cochin, and for a time, the southern islands were wealthier and more self-sufficient than the central government of the Maldives. Modern banking, taxation, and healthcare systems were implemented under British support. But the young republic was fragile. Ongoing negotiation with Male, uprisings in Tinadu and Formulaku, and increasing military pressure from Ibrahim Nasir put Afif's leadership to the test. Throughout the 1960s, Addu continued to thrive, with trade and a growing economy outpacing the central government. Yet, political tensions lingered. In February 1960, the British secured a 30-year lease for Gang Island and part of Hitadu with free access to the lagoon. The agreement recognized the Sultan of the Maldives as the head of state and promised reconciliation between Addu and Male. The Addu Republic sent a letter agreeing to recognize the Sultan as head of state. By June, Ibrahim Nasir offered Abdullah Afif a full pardon, but Afif and his supporters refused. In March 1961, Afif used the Addu Times to promote a plan for locals to buy half of a modern fishing boat, while traders and the People's Bank of Addu funded the rest. In May, British envoy Arthington Davey visited Addu for tense talks demanding formal ties with Male within 2 months. In June, revolts broke out on Tinadu and Formula. By July, Addu's demands were rejected and Male forces led by Ibrahim Nasir attacked Tinadu. The violence continued into 1962. Nasir led attacks on Tinadu and Formula. The British tried to restore Mali control, but the people of Gan refused, staging large demonstrations in August and September. By November, British citizens were evacuated after they started protesting against the British. In September 1963, the British agreed to return Addu to Mali control. Political maneuvering and pressure on local businessmen forced Afif and his supporters to stand down. On September 30th, Abdullah Afif and his family were taken to Seychelles. The British, tired and seeing little to gain, had to withdraw. They ensured the people of Addu were not punished. On September 21st, the Maldivian flag was raised in Maradu for the first time in 4 years. The United Suvadive Republic was over. Exile became Abdullah Afif's life. What was meant to be 6 months in Seychelles turned into decades. He refused a British passport. During his time in Seychelles, he taught Islam in the local community and worked as a translator in the Libyan embassy. Despite repeated requests, he never returned to the Maldives until a brief visit in 1989. He passed away in July 1993. Those were days that shook Maldives to its core. There's so much more that had happened in between. Until we are able to unfold those, this is me, Tata, signing off. Bye-bye and stay safe.